Is it recording? Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to your May 2025 astrological forecast. So the month starts off with the sun still in Taurus up until the 20th. And on the 4th we have a planet going retrograde, which is Pluto. Okay, everything else is in direct motion. On the 10th, Mercury moves into Taurus. On the 12th, there's a full moon in Scorpio. On the 20th, the Sun moves into Gemini. On the 24th, Saturn moves into Aries. And I do have to say, you know, Neptune moved into Aries last month. I'm sorry. There, I had to use my computer, okay, to record. My camera is really screwing up, so please bear with me. You'll see on some of the other videos, they're like totally out of focus, so please just ignore that. Anyway, Neptune just moved into Aries, and Saturn also moves into Aries on the 24th, giving Pisces a little break, okay, over the summer at least. Both of these planets will move back into Pisces to finish up their transit there. And then next year, they'll fully move into Aries. But for this summer, for like a few months, both of these planets are going to be in Aries. So, you know, Pisces gets a break, and even Virgo, as far as that goes, the opposite sign of Pisces. So on the 25th, Mercury is in Gemini, and on the 26th, there's a new moon in Gemini, and all month, Venus is in Aries, and Mars is in Leo, okay? So, thank you so much. Special shout out to my subscribers for your continued support, for your likes and shares and comments, and if you're new to my channel and you like this video, be sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. You can also check out the links in the description box below. There is one to my website, but it is easier to just email me at Zane's Zodiac .com. I'm sorry, Zane Zodiac at gmail.com. Okay. And just ask me whatever it is you would like to know, whatever service, you know, do I offer this service or that service or whatever. And there's also a thing called Ask Me a Question, which is for those of you who only want to know maybe one or two things about your chart. And also, don't forget to check out my weekly forecast, which is now daily shorts. And now for your forecast. Hi, Cancer. So, let me see here. Okay, well, the sun is in Taurus up until the 20th in your 11th house, where you have the sign of Taurus. 11th house being your most sociable house. It's socializing online or in person. This is where your friends and acquaintances lie, ball, whatever. It's where you would normally go to hang out, any group or organization that you belong to, and also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. So, you know, with the sun being here, you may feel like getting out more. Maybe you haven't been out for a while, or you haven't seen your friends in person, you know, and, or there's something going on that you would like to attend, some kind of live show. But anyways, just having the sun here kind of makes you want to get out there more. If you're not able to actually physically get out, socializing online, you might be on social media a lot more than you normally are, especially when Mercury moves here on the 10th. Okay, Mercury is moving very, very fast. It moves into Taurus on the 10th and then into Gemini on the 25th, so it's just zipping right through. So you could, you know, find that when Mercury actually leaves here and moves into Gemini, that you've had like a lot of conversations with some of your friends, or just people in general, just while socializing. But, you know, you may even be part of something that's going on at this time that only happens within this short period of time of Mercury being here. You know, so You know, you could even be doing something like that is work related, and does maybe require you to travel a little bit or to network, get out there and network. So maybe that's why you're socializing. Maybe you're meeting a lot of career, you know, or something oriented to your job. Okay, could be something like that, but whatever. You know, I do have to mention, well, okay, well, the sun moves into Gemini on the 20th, and Mercury here on the 25th, new moon in Gemini on the 26th, and Jupiter is still in Gemini until next month, and then it moves into your sign. I believe it's on the 6th. I don't have anything in front of me. Sorry, I forget the date, but yeah, so you're going to have Jupiter in your sign. Wonderful. Wonderful, okay. I'll be doing video on that too. I will also be doing a video on both Saturn and Neptune in Aries, which I will get to in a minute. But anyway, so this is your 12th house where you have the sign of Gemini, and when planets are here, usually like with the sun, it's your time to like recharge your batteries before the sun moves into your first house, and you're like back on the scene again, and you're the center of attention because the sun is in your first house and you're like shining, right? But you know, the 12th house is behind the scenes activities by you or someone else, secrets and confidences, the house of dreams, the subconscious mind, the house of charity and confinement, many things here. Okay, it's a psychic ability. You know, just having Jupiter here all this time usually brings about a hidden benefactor, okay? Somebody helping you behind the scenes, maybe without you even knowing it, okay? Even if they're just putting in a good word for you this whole time that Jupiter has been here since last year. There may have somebody in your corner, you know, singing your praises and looking out for you, whether you knew it or not, you know? So that's actually really nice, right? Or if you were aware of them, you were able to go to them for help. You know, they were able to, but maybe they didn't, you know, want anyone to know about it or whatever. For whatever reason, it could be just that if they help you, then they got to help everybody, or so everybody thinks, right? So maybe that's why it's like a little bit of a secret, possibly. Okay, now with Mercury in Gemini in the 12th house, I call Mercury in the 12th house the great investigator. Okay, because it brings out the snoop in you. It makes you want to find out more about a person or anything, actually. So you start to inquire, and you do it like behind the scenes, okay? But you don't necessarily have to be. There's no reason to be secret, but you may not want someone to know, you know, that you're asking about them, or you're looking into something. You're trying to find out more about something, you know, and it could be, now let's put it here, okay, new moon on the 26th will bring a new beginning in this area, okay, like, but I feel that whatever you find out around that new moon, you can use it to your advantage, obviously, but it's something that maybe you're not going to share with everybody, because it's for your benefit. You know, it's really not going to benefit anyone more than you. So it's something that you should probably keep to yourself. You know, people might, I don't know, be jealous or whatever. You know how some people just don't want to see you do good, and they just try to screw things up for you. So whatever. Anyways, I do have to mention, though, you know, Pluto is in Aquarius in your 8th house of other people's money and resources. This house is many things, but it trines all other air signs. So it is trining, or actually Gemini is trining. The planets in Gemini are trining this Pluto, which is retrograde from the 4th on. So in your 8th house, maybe something was supposed to be given to you already, And when this planet turns retrograde, it finally shows up. You know, not right away, but you may be on the receiving end of something that was due you anyway. You know, I do have to mention that there is a full moon in Scorpio on the 12th in your 5th house. It's directly across from your 11th house of Taurus. Okay, so 5th house is the house of fun. Fun and creativity, romance, gambling, speculation, any kind of game, sport, any form of entertainment, and anything to do with children. So this full moon could have, you know, around the 12th, it does exist to bring a problem to the surface, so you can do away with it. It may be regarding a friend, romance, a child, a creative project, whatever it is. Could be one of your friends, you know, putting in their 2 cents or critiquing whatever it is that you've done that is creative. And they don't like anything. You know, they would never say anything nice about anyone, not just you. But they could possibly say something at this time that you're just tired of them, tired of hearing it. Because they don't just talk about you this way. It's everyone. It's a Debbie Downer kind of thing. Like, who would want a friend like this, right? But anyways, so, you know, you tell them a thing or two. You finally put your foot down. So that's what this could be. It could be regarding, you know, romance, you know. Maybe whomever you're seeing doesn't share your social life, you know, or they don't care to. They don't want to meet your friends. They don't want to go wherever you're going to meet your friends, you know. Same thing with a child. A child could act up at this time, you know, and put a stop to whatever plans or something you have around this time, because you have to take care of whatever they're, you know, whatever's up with them. Okay, it could be anything, but I really don't think it's a big deal. But anyways, okay, so Neptune has moved into Aries last month, and Saturn moves here on the 24th. And we've got Venus in Aries this whole month, okay? So, you know, well, first, Saturn is still in Pisces up until the 24th in your 9th house. So it will be leaving. So sometimes 9th house being long distance travel and communications, higher learning, media and publishing, legal matters, the house of adventure, long distance, let's see, foreign countries, people, languages, stuff like that. Anyways, with Saturn here, put a real damper possibly on your traveling, especially long distance travel. I did always warn about, you know, if you're going to another country, to know the laws and the customs before you offend someone accidentally, or just do something that is against the law, even if it's a custom or something that is could be offensive to the people there. Or you were, you know, taking a class that was really boring, you're not getting anything out of it, including a good grade, because it just bored you to tears. Stuff like that, you know, this will all be leaving, okay? Next year completely, but right now it's just for the summer. Okay, so anyway, so Saturn moves, you could have been learning something actually for a job to increase your status as far as your career goes. Okay, you could have actually learned something there, and you know, it could not have been easy, something easy to learn, or whomever you learned it from, because you could have been like an apprentice or something like that. They were hard to deal with. But anyway, so now you have Saturn in your 10th house. Saturn, Neptune, and Venus. Okay, first of all, with Venus and Neptune here, hang on a second, I have to look at the time. Okay, with Venus and Neptune here in your 10th house, you have movie star quality going on right now. If you have ever listened to any of my videos, and I probably mentioned this last month if you listened to that one, when Venus is in your first house, your own sign, or your 10th house, you should milk it for all you can. Okay, so Venus is here all month, but like conjuncting with Neptune and Saturn eventually, or whatever, it brings about, again, a movie star quality to you. When Venus is in your 10th house, you can do no wrong. People find you far more appealing at this time than any other time. And it's usually based on your appearance, though. They have nice things to say about your appearance or your style, your clothing. You know, they might say something about your personality. You know, it's all nice. It's all very good. But, you know, it's more about your appearance. So again, you have, it does bring out like the film movie star kind of glow about you. And with Saturn moving here, you could end up in a position of, well, first of all, you may have to deal with higher ups or someone who is in a position to help further your career. If you are self-employed, you could have a client that has a lot of clout, but they're a real pain to deal with. But you might still have to anyway. But also, while these other planets are here at the same time, especially Venus, with Saturn here, people are seeing you as somebody really reliable. You do a good job. Your word is good. You know, you're believable. Whatever. You know, so you got some nice things going on here. Okay. So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Cancer on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 28th, 29th, and 30th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Capricorn, and those dates are the 15th, 16th, and 17th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling, and speculation, or anything to do with children, is the 10th, 11th, 12th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. The best time for money is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. The best time for your career is the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 5th, 6th, 7th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for May. Be sure to check out my weekly forecasts, which are now daily shorts. See ya!